There's a lot to say tonight about this show, this pay-per-view in general. And when I talk about Bound for Glory tonight, 2017, I know there's been a lot of things in the past few days leading up to this pay-per-view. Lots and lots of changes. A lot of them mostly unfortunate than good. And I sat there and wondered to myself, yes, there's a new creative regime. There's no Jeff Jarrett anymore. And I hope for this pay-per-view to be really good. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it was the greatest thing I've ever saw or anything. I want to say at least a decent thing, but I had its problems also kind of coming in from beginning to end. I know they were at the Aberdeen Pavilion Center on Ottawa, Ontario, which actually was a pretty good venue, really. Actually looked good, sold out crowd. The ring was well lit. It didn't look like a lot of empty seats out there. They had a sold out house. I'll give them that. It looks a little like the Impact set in Orlando, but I actually liked it. It wasn't bad. But kicking off the show was the X Division title on the line. Trevor Lee, Matt Sydal, Garza Jr., Petey Williams super over tonight. Sanjay Dutt and Desmond Xavier for the X Division title, which Petey was getting cheered throughout most of the match, which was actually good. High paced action. X Division usually kills as usual, so I always like what the X Division does out there, and really enjoyed this match. Pretty much Trevor Lee getting up the win after Petey Williams hit the Canadian Destroyer on Desmond Xavier, which Trevor Lee stole the pin, which I'm actually kind of good with this decision. Sure, the hometown guy could have went over right now, but they could have got an easy pop right there. But it's kind of good to keep the title on Lee just so they can try to establish something with it, and just throw it right on Petey Williams just because he's in his hometown. I know they said it was like Lucha Rules, a little bit confusing at first, but I actually enjoyed what was going on in this match, because the X Division usually gets the crowd pumped in the beginning of the show. Tyson Dukes, I'm sorry, they said he was here before in Team Canada. He used to be in Impact. I know he's part of Cruiserweight Classic, I believe. He went against Taji Ishimori. Even though this was an unadvertised match, actually a solid match, really, unadvertised. The only problem with it was that the whole Laurel Van Ness thing on the side kind of took away from it. Ishimori had a 450 splash for the win, so was a very good match. Next, Alberto. Okay, now let me get on this promo. Listen, I'm not really the biggest fan of Alberto El Patron. I still think the biggest mistake they made was putting the world championship on this guy. And then we all know what happened with the Page situation. He came out, he did get a pop, people chanted C, but then he talked about the cowards back there. Listen to the lies and, why they suspended him. And then he says, I didn't hit her, or pretty much Page and everything. And that no one called or texted me or cared about my family. And I'm not saying the promo was passionate, but I think it went on a bit too long. And he said something about what's wrong with Impact Wrestling. And so I'm going to do something tonight in this company no one's ever seen. And talked about the losers and backstabbers in the back. And then he talked about JB then. Alberto pretty much came up to JB and yelled at him. Everybody thinking he was going to do something that happened 3 months ago, why he never called or texted him. And he says, I'm not going to do nothing to you right now, he says. But tonight, he said it's going to be amazing since it's Bound for Glory and everything. But I felt Alberto just rambled. Why would you just get mad at Jeremy Borash because he didn't call or text you? And, he wants to talk about management and stuff. And he's not a sympathetic character when you look at it, because why should we give this guy sympathy because of what happened with the whole Page situation? Why should we feel bad for him all the way? And I just wish he would have just kept his statement going and moved on, but I felt like his promo just kind of rambled, and it took forever. And yes, he is a heel, I guess, now, but it took way too long. Abyss versus Grado in a Monsters Ball match. Yes, the crowd did get into it at points, but I think people expected almost like they would go backstage so Jeremy Borash can do his Broken Universe thing like the last time at Slammiversary with Abyss and Grado. But it pretty much ended up with Laura Van Ness getting in, and then the lights going out. Rosemary, which, unfortunately Rosemary couldn't be an opponent for Bound for Glory, and they didn't just stick her into the Fatal 4-Way, so they just had her and pretty much show up during this match. 'Cause I thought she would get a different opponent tonight since Taya could not make it. I guess it was for visa reasons or several other reasons really why she couldn't show up, personal problems. But she pretty much spit mist into Laurel Van Ness, and then she looked at Abyss, but she calmed down a bit, said we're Decay, okay, Decay. And then she pretty much hit a mist on Abyss. Then Grado got the roll up. It was a 2 count, which everybody thought was 3. And then Abyss pretty much came back with a black hole slam for the win. So Abyss got the win, but I expected more crazy stuff going on in the back then. I don't know. You know, it's kind of odd, especially with the confusing fall at the end. It's like every time the match ends, like they go immediately back to a backstage segment. I'm not sure if it was time they were on or something, so we didn't really get a lot of post stuff. EC3, James Storm, and Eddie Edwards went against El Hijo de Fantasma, Pagano, and El Tano Jr. 6-man wasn't actually bad, but it never really clicked, too, with the fans. EC3 people were with him in James Storm, and that they really tried to get in the match. Pagano just kind of was just over everywhere, and pretty much people think EC3 is going to take out James Storm and betray him. Storm pretty much did the last call super kick on Pagano if the EC3 is going to kick his head off, and they pretty much celebrated with some beers. Next was time for the 51-50 street fight with OVE and LAX. Somebody took out Homicide in the back, which I guess it was Homicide and stuff. But we think it was Homicide, or maybe it was Diamante, because none of them came out with LAX. It was just Conan and Santana and Ortiz, which was actually a really good match. Pretty much, crazy 51 street fight. Santana jumping off, doing a dive off the top of a scaffolding on one of the OVE guys. Ortiz and a power bomb threw on the table off the stage. It was actually pretty chaotic out there. But as the match went on, Sami Callihan showed up then, which he really got a flat reaction. He threw powder in Conan's eyes, and then pretty much helped take out Santana and Ortiz. Pretty much OVE picked up the pin, and then he did this, which they started beating up LAX, and then they said, "We are Ohio versus everything. Thumbs up, thumbs down." But I guess it was a double turn because they started beating up LAX. So I guess OVE will be the heels now, and LAX are faces, which I wouldn't mind that because people mostly with LAX and cheered for him throughout this match. But I thought it'd be a bigger reaction for him, really. And Conan wasn't really doing that much, and the other LAX members were absent. I really expect all 5 members of LAX to start beating the crap out of these guys. But people did get into Callahan later on, but at least they can go somewhere with this feud. Sienna versus Gail Kim, I believe it's her final match, or her final Bound for Glory match, with an Impact versus Ali for the Knockouts Championship. Santino was by ringside. This actually wasn't a bad match, and really enjoyed it. The crowd was into it. Gail, of course, had to pick up the win. Her hometown, Toronto, pretty much Ontario, Canada, pretty much, and she got the win and eat the feet all in midair on Ali for the win. And I actually said that was pretty good. That was a really good match. I wish they would have kind of didn't go to replay. Could have showed a replay of Went Post just to get her good feel good moment of the night. I'm sure we'll get that on Impact later on this week. But could have got a something post this match, since this was her final championship she's gonna win here. Dan Lambert. Oh god, this match. Well, before we get to Dan Lambert in that match, Jimmy Jacobs showed up, which he got no reaction since Jimmy Jacobs is all over the place. We've seen what happened since he's left WWE. We saw him at the Ring of Honor show back in Global Wars with the Bullet Club and everything, and a selfie. And I've heard he's been in other companies too. I've seen him show up at Wrestle Circus, and he showed up here saying, like, what's Jimmy Jacobs doing here? And he said, you don't work. He's oh yeah, that's what you like to think. So we'll see what goes on with Jimmy Jacobs later on. Moose and Stephan Bonner against Lashley and King Mo. Listen, let me just say this right here. I'm really tired of American Top Team. I like Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Lashley should be positioned better in this company and being back for the world title picture, not with the nameless MMA guys. But this wasn't a bad match in a way. It was kind of train wreck, and sorry, Moose's brother came out and rapped this song, and it was pretty crazy. They were all over the place. We got some MMA fight with Stephen Bonner and King Mo. Moose was really good in this match, and he even did a sit-down powerbomb off the top rope. He was really good in this match, but then the American Top Team guys had to come in, and Moose cleared house on all of them. He even jumped out the top of the cage to knock these guys down. He finally got his hands on Lambert, but Lashley speared him and won. But this was a train wreck, really. I don't know where they can continue on with this. You think just the faces would go over on this part, just because the face has been beat up a lot. Hopefully we see some different Thursday. And as we get into the main event of this show, Eli Drake versus Johnny Impact for the Impact title. What can I say about this match? At first, this match was really going well. A really good quality match. Nothing bad about it. But I really feared this was going to happen. Overbooking. And creative could have stopped this right here. Just bad overbooking. Which almost felt like it was a weekly thing in a main event part of a pay-per-view, not a payoff. I know this is a new creative team, but I don't know what the smart idea of doing this here was. Like, you could have just had a clear-cut winner, have a clean win and everything, but first you want to send Alberto out there, and then he just hits chair shots on the head on Mundo right there, and then he hits the title on Eli Drake, and let me just say this, right? This is your biggest show of the year, right? And this is your main event. I was liking this match, and just still they make this stupid mistakes again. And hopefully during the tapings this week they have a better chance at this, because I was actually enjoying the main event until Alberto came out and just kind of ruined the whole thing and killed the whole mood for everybody, which people chanting "you suck" out there to him. I don't know where this goes. I'd rather just had Eli Drake get a clean win just to see what was going to happen with this. But I don't really know what's going to happen. And yeah, I'm going to have live reactions posted up. Hopefully Thursday goes better with this. Really, to be honest, I really hope they partner with Billy Corgan again now. Because you have no Jared. I don't know who the lead creative is with this show. But we'll just have to find out and see. Alright, because I just didn't like the main event. I was liking the main event just till Alberto showed up. I think that's his thing. So I guess they want to insert him back into the title picture right now. So I don't know. And by the way, the crowd, I will give the crowd credit and not credit at the same time. The crowd looks like they were there. It's like first the crowd was there, and then they're not there. It's like they gotta react and they don't react, and they do react and they don't react. So we'll just have to find out and see. Because it's like sometimes the crowd will react and be popping through the place, but then it's like parts of the show where they were really silent unless somebody hit some big move on somebody. So yeah, so I don't really. I'm just gonna go with a decent grade for this pay-per-view. I'm not gonna say it's great. I'm not even say it was really that good. I think it was decent. I think Slammiversary was better and well booked. Even though I didn't like some of the wins, but I think it was a well booked show, better than for Bound for Glory tonight. So yeah, hopefully we see something better out of this. But they really have to do better on these tapings this week. They really are. Because to be honest, I would give this show maybe a C. Or a C minus, really. Mostly a C, really, throughout this pay-per-view. So they're really going to have to redeem themselves this week during these tapings. And hopefully they book some better stuff this week. And this wasn't really a bad pay-per-view. I'm not going to say it was not a bad pay-per-view. But like I said, it was a decent C-level pay-per-view if you ask me. I did like some of the matches, but I just think when it got near the end and booking, I just really didn't get it. And this, I don't know what was with this crowd tonight. For a sold out show, it's just like this crowd was just almost. They knew how to react, but then there are points where they sucked at reacting. But we'll just have to find out and see what happens this week on Thursday on the show. Hopefully we can get some better matches and build something up. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.